Now guys, the shortcut method. If there are two vector, namely a vector and b vector, and their resultant is making an angle alpha and beta with b vector and a vector respectively, then you can say that okay, my sine a sine alpha must be equal to b sine beta. Okay, so this will be, you will be using this frequently in what you say, physics itself. Okay, so that's why I've mentioned this short method over here. Okay, so mean component of a vector perpendicular to the resultant is equal in the magnitude to the component of the b vector perpendicular to the resultant. That's the trick. That is a vector a sine alpha equal to b sine beta. As you have seen over here, that my resultant force was at this angle, there were two angles, namely alpha beta. So what I have done was I have equated both of them, and logically they should be equated because everything is in the y direction. Resultant is in the y direction itself, so there is no point of talking about the x direction over here. Fine. Now let us do this by using another example over here. So you are having a vector b over here, a vector a over here, with their resultant b is having a magnitude 2 equal to 10. Then you have to find the value of a. Okay, so b, the magnitude of b is given to you as 10. Magnitude of b is given to you as 10. This is your resultant which is making, okay, this is your resultant, and he wants the value of a vector, the magnitude of a vector. So what I have told you, that if resultant is lying in this y direction, in this y direction, so x direction will not be having any kind of role in our mathematics over here, so it will be ruled out. So hence I can say that a sine 60 degree equal to, sorry, b sine 60 degree equal to a sine 60 degree. Okay, because everything will be zero in this direction, so I can equate these two guys over here. Okay, equate these two guys, whatsoever data is given to you, use that data and you will be landing up with this particular value. Try to do this question by yourself. It's pretty much easy over here by using the same concept. Now let us talk about addition and subtraction in the component form. So let us say that you are having this a vector, this is as your b vector. Now you want to add them component wise. Okay, so I will be added up with each other. So I component will be added up and subtracted up with each other only. You cannot add or subtract this I component with this j component. Okay, because they don't lie on the same line. Okay, now let us apply what we have studied over here. But before applying, let me tell you one more thing. Let us say you are having a vector a which is having three components. Let us say ai cap, b j cap, and c j cap, k cap. Okay, these are the three components of the vector which are running in three different directions, x, y, and z. Now you want to have the magnitude of this vector. Then how you can get it? You can get it by the simple formula or simple method over here. Just put a square root, square everything over here. So you are having a, so a square plus b square plus c square. So you'll be having the magnitude of a. Now let us proceed with the following problem. You are having 2a cap minus 3b cap. So a, this value, b is having this value, so 2a cap, 2a cap will be nothing but 2a cap will be nothing but 2i cap plus 2j cap minus 4k cap. Multiply a 2 with this a. Similarly 3b cap will be 6i cap minus 3j cap plus 3k cap. Fine, these are the two vector. Now subtract both of them component wise. So 2a vector minus 3b vector will give you 2 minus 6 give you a minus 4 I cap. I should be minus with I only component wise. Plus 2 minus minus of 3 will give you a 5. Then minus 4 minus 3 will give you a minus 7. Now you are having three things, minus 4 plus 5 and a minus 7 j cap. Put everything into this formula and you will be having your answer as follow. Fine. Let us move to this question where you have to find a plus b vector and a minus b vector. Here a and b vector are making certain angles which is given to you. Okay, with the x-axis and the negative x-axis respectively, you have to find these two guys where magnitude of a and b are given to you as 5 and 10. So what I will be doing is I will be doing it for the a plus b, and you will be doing it for the a minus b for me. So what I have done is I've resolved my a vector as follow: a cos 37, a sin 37. Then I've resolved my b vector as follow. Then I have added them up appropriately. So I'm left with this 8 plus 3 equal to 11. This minus 6, 6 minus 4 as minus 2. Okay, do this for me, guys. Now the magnitude will be nothing but this square plus this square. Fine. If you have to find the angle, then it is pretty much simple. Tan theta equal to sy upon sx. Sy is given to you as 11 here, and sx is given to you as minus 2 over here. Fine with that. Now the angle, resultant angle which you are accounting over here will be from the negative x-axis over here. Take care that in mind, because until now what you were doing is, if you were having this as your coordinate system, let us say if you were having this as your coordinate system and you were accounting for tan theta over here, then this y you were taking and this x you were taking. But now we are having this as my triangle a b c, and I am accounting for this angle alpha over here. So tan alpha will be bc by ac. Okay, so here minus 2 is representing my ac, the negative side. That you have to keep in mind. Solve it for a minus b for me, guys. Now let us discuss the gravy things. Let us discuss the scalar product, the dot product, the most notorious one. Okay, so what you are having over here is dot product is nothing but, unlike you are using a multiply sign, you will be using a dot sign over here. So now let us say that you are having two vectors, a vector and a b vector. You are dot producting them, then you will be getting a modulus of a vector, a modulus of b vector, multiply the angle in between both of the vector over here. So why we are using this product? We are using this product because we want to find this angle. In certain cases they will be giving you vectors over here as well as the magnitude over here, and they will be asking you for the angle in between both of them. So you can pretty much find out angle by using this dot product. Okay, anything they can give you, they can give you the magnitude of a vector, b vector, and also the component of b vector, but they cannot give you the component of a vector and can ask you about that. Okay, so whatsoever they can give using this particular dot product. Now let me tell you that if you are dot producting any kind of unit vector like as I cap, then you'll be having a 1 in return. For example, if you are dot producting I cap with I cap only, then you'll be having an answer of 1. J cap dot product with J cap will give you a 1. K cap dot product with K cap will give you a 1. But I cap dot producted with J cap will give you a 0. Why? Because I cap is in this direction, J cap is in this direction, and angle in between both of them is 90 degree. So I cap magnitude is 1, J cap magnitude is 1, and cos 90 degree gives you a 0. So henceforth I can say that I cap dot J cap gives you a 0, whereas I cap into I cap will give you a answer 1, because the angle will be 0 degree itself. Now let us do it component wise. So for example, you are having v1 vector as follow a b c, you are having v2 vector as follow x y z. Then you want to find the dot product, then you can write it as follow. Because I cap multiply j cap will return you a 0, so I will be multiplying I cap component with I cap only. So a multiply x will give me ax, b multiply by y will give me by, c multiply z will give me cz. Fine. Now as we have studied the dot product, let us discuss the properties of dot product. Okay, so whatsoever you are getting after dot producting, you will be getting a return of scalar quantity itself. Okay, so as you have seen over here, this will be a number itself. This is a number because nothing or any vector is associated with that. Okay, you are not seeing any kind of I cap, j cap, k cap over here. Everything you are getting is just a number. Okay, so it is always a scalar which is positive if the angle in between the vector is 90 degree, and it will be negative if the angle is obtuse. It is between 90 degree or 180 degree. It is a commutative and it is distributive also as follow. Okay, as the definition a dot b says that a b cos theta, a and b are the magnitude of a and b, and the angle in between them can be calculated as follow. So a dot b upon the magnitude AB cos inverse. So if you are given with, let us say, let us have an example, A vector I cap, J cap, K cap, B vector as half I cap, half J cap and half K cap, then after A dot B I will be getting 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, 1 by 2 multiply by this, 1 by 2 multiply by this, 1 by 2 multiply by this as 3 by 2. So I am getting A dot B as 3 by 2. Then A vector magnitude and B vector magnitude. Okay, so A vector magnitude will be nothing but root 3. Okay, and B vector magnitude will be equal to 1 by under root 3. Okay, you can put it over here, root 3 multiplied root 3 by 2, and henceforth you will be landing up with the value of 3 will be cut by 3, 2 will be cut by 2, cos inverse 1. That is, cos inverse 1 is at 0 degree itself. So there the angle in between both of them is 0 degree. Fine. Now let us move to the next property, which is saying that A dot B is equal to AB cos theta, because I can write it as AB cos theta and put a bracket wheresoever I want. So I am putting a bracket over here. So A into B cos theta, A into B cos theta, or B into A cos theta. And you know that B cos theta, what is B cos theta? B cos theta is the projection of vector B on the vector A, as I've told you in the previous slides also, or vice versa. That is, A cos theta is the projection of vector A on the vector B itself. I have shown that in the figure over here. Okay, so this is the projection of A vector on the vector B, A cos theta. Fine. The component of B along A is nothing but B cos theta. So I can write it as follows. Just substitute the value of cos theta. So B cos theta, and I know that cos theta is nothing but A vector dot B vector upon modulus of A vector, that is the magnitude of A vector in the magnitude of B vector. Fine. This is the magnitude of B vector itself. This B is nothing but the magnitude of B vector itself. So B magnitude will be cut by B magnitude, and you will be left with A dot B upon A. Fine. So that's the component of B along A. Now you know that A cap is nothing, the unit vector is nothing but the vector itself upon its magnitude over here. So I can write it as A cap, the unit vector of A vector multiplied by or dot producted with B vector over here. Fine. Similarly, if you have to find the component of A along B, you can write it as follow: A cos theta, substitute the value of theta, and you will be landing up with these values over here. You know that B vector upon B is nothing but a unit vector itself. So A dot B cap. B cap is the unit vector. Scalar product of two vector will be maximum if and only if the angle is maximum. Okay, which is cos theta should be equal to 1. That is, the angle in between both of them is 0. Okay, so angle should be minimum. That is, theta must be equal to 0. Both of them must be along the same line itself. Okay, now if you want to have your vector to be minimum, that what you can do is, you know that cos theta is minimum at an angle of 90 degree. Okay, so at 90 degree angle the value of cos theta will be equal to 0. So that will be your minimum value of your scalar product. Okay, so if a scalar product of two non-zero vector vanishes, then the vector can set to be perpendicular. Okay, because at 90 degree itself the cos theta is 0. Scalar product of a vector by itself is termed as self dot product, and it is given as a square. Okay, as I've told you about the unit vector multiplication itself. Now if you are not having the case of unit vector, you are having a case of simple vector, then what you can do is you can dot product with each other and you will be having a vector of a square. Let me show you how. So let us say that you are having a vector A as 2i cap, 2j cap, 2k cap. Now A dot A will give you 2 multiply by 2 plus 2 multiply by 2 plus 2 multiply by 2 itself, which gives you 4 plus 4 plus 4, which gives you a 12. So a dot a is coming out to be 12 itself. Fine with that. Now this a dot a will become a square, or a dot a, you can write it as magnitude of a multiplied by magnitude of a into cos theta, and theta here is 0 degrees. So magnitude of a will be nothing but 2 root 3, magnitude of a will be nothing but 2 root 3, cos theta equal to 0 is 1. So I can say that the answer is coming out to be 12. So a square, if you are dot producting or self dot producting a vector, then it will return you the value a square, as we have seen over here. Now let us say that you want this vector op, okay, or your component of a vector on this b vector over here, which is the most common question we encounter in our physics and mathematics. Okay, so let us say that this is having an angle of theta in between both of them. A and b are having an angle of theta in between both of them. So I'm dropping a perpendicular over here at a point p. Okay, so now you know that a vector needs two things to be defined. First one is the magnitude, second one is the direction. Okay, so I know that this vector op is in the direction of b vector itself, so I can say that op is certainly in the direction of b. Okay, so my direction problem is solved. Now regarding the magnitude itself, I can use the projection, that a vector is having a projection on this b vector, which is a modulus cos theta. That take care of my magnitude perspective over here. So that will be my magnitude, and that's my direction. But I cannot bluntly say that okay, a cos theta in the direction of b. I have to define it. So to take care of the direction, what I can do is, as you know that in the Cartesian coordinate system, you are defining I cap, j cap and k cap direction with x, y and z axis associated. Okay, so you are using these unit vectors there. You are using unit vectors there. That's the point. Okay, so you must be defining a unit vector over here also. So you are seeing that it is going in the b direction, b vector direction. So if I define a unit vector in the direction of b, I can say that that will be my direction. So I have defined a unit vector in the direction of b over here, which is b vector upon modulus of b vector. Okay, so now my resultant op vector, which I have to find, is nothing but a magnitude of a cos theta and the direction of n cap. Okay, that's the direction of my n vector. Fine, this is the answer. Now let us try to solve this particular problem. In the vector p is given to you as follow, q is given to you as follow. You have to find the value of a. Okay, now these are perpendicular to each other, so I can say that p dot q must be equal to 0. Fine with that? Multiply component wise and you will be having the following equation. Solve it and you will be landing up with the value of a. Pretty much easy to do. You have to find the component of 3 I cap 4 j cap along this guy over here. So from the nodes itself, you can say that okay, if I want to find the vector a component on the vector b, I can simply put a dot b upon b itself, or a vector dot b cap from the previous knowledge, where b cap is the unit vector. Okay, you can do it by yourself. Just calculate and you'll be having the following values. Okay, now let us solve this particular problem. You have to find the angle a and b in between these two. So you know that cos theta will be equal to a dot b upon modulus of a into modulus of b. Just put the values over here and you will be landing up with this value. Very much easy to do. This question you can do it by yourself, pretty much easy to do. I have written the answers over here. You can match the answer and you can write in the comment section whether you are getting the same answer or not. Now velocity of a particle is given to you as follow. You have to find the vector component of its velocity, which is parallel to a line L, where line L is given to you as follows. So you want your vector along this line L. What you can do is you can just simply put v cos theta into L vector, which we have done it. Okay, the projection we have done it. So that's your v vector. Let us say that's your v vector and that's your L vector over here. Okay, now you want to have this vector on this vector. Okay, you want to have this vector on this vector, actually a line parallel to this L vector only, but that will not change anything. Okay, so you want to have this vector projecting on this vector over here, component of this vector on this vector over here. Okay, so a line which is parallel to this L vector will be having the same direction as that of L itself. Okay, so I'm not bothered about the L vector over here. I can simply put a line, let us say capital L over here. Okay, so let us say this is my L vector over here, and this is my line running parallel to this L vector over here. Okay, so this line must be having what? The same direction as that of L vector. The direction of L vector can be determined by the n cap vector, which is the unit vector, which says L vector upon modulus of L vector. So this L line will be having a vector, a unit vector direction equal to L vector upon L vector. Now you know that the magnitude projection of this V on this will be equal to V vector cos theta, V vector modulus cos theta, and you are having the angle in between both of them, L vector and V vector, as V dot L upon V magnitude L magnitude. Fine with that. So you'll be having a vector of V vector cos theta multiplied by the n cap vector. Fine, that I have told you. Pretty much you can do it by yourself. Very easy to do.